Before I get into my thoughts about Final Fantasy VII Remake, I want to say thank you so much, Square Enix, for sending me a review copy of the game. I literally did laps around my place as soon as I got the email, so thank you so much for sending it to me. And the second thing I want to say is that I will be doing 100% spoiler free. I will not be talking about any narrative, anything that has to do with the story aspects of the game. But the only thing I will say, that if you have history like myself with these characters, you will love them 100, a billion times more than you do. And this is your first time ever meeting these characters, I can almost confidently say it will probably be love at first sight. From the time of me recording this video, I've not beaten the game, about like 20 hours in, so I couldn't spoil the ending for you anyway. And as a Final Fantasy fan and someone who is always looking to support and like respect developers, I'm telling you, I'm not going to talk about anything narrative story. So if you're looking for a narrative story review, this isn't it. But if you're looking for my impressions and my thoughts about the game, then let's talk. This game is a masterpiece. Like, the first one was a masterpiece, and this is a masterpiece of a masterpiece. Like, I was excited as soon as I hit the new game screen, and I had really high expectations for it. I didn't want to, but it's a game based off of a game that I grew up playing back in 1997, and characters that I love just throughout the years. We've been watching Advent Children and everything like that. So unfortunately, expectations were there. There is no doubt that this feels like a Final Fantasy game, and it's no doubt that it feels like Final Fantasy VII. It's like playing a movie, like literally playing a movie, like you're playing, like there's gameplay. There's a lot of gameplay, so yes, you're playing a movie. Just the cinematic visuals, the voice acting, just the characters, just everything about it. It's everything that you could ever wish for a game that's remade of a game that was 23 years ago. So if you played the demo, you already have an idea of the mechanics, and the gameplay is still, to me, very well done, but it also still takes some getting used to, a lot, because your girl always forgets to block. But the only time I've ever gotten really like kind of a little bit frustrated, this is my fault for not taking care of my characters, it's just like when everyone's like low on health and you have to worry about the ATB gauge, and you're like, oh my god, I can't heal my characters, I'm helpless, I gotta stand back, but I can't stand back because I need to charge my ATB gauge to be able to heal my characters and revive them. That's literally something that I developed the more I played, and like could take better care of everybody on the team. Regarding like gameplay aspects, I do want to point out one thing. I did have some camera angle issues at the beginning because there are some tight spaces, but as the game progresses, you're fine. Other gameplay mechanic elements, like the original, are still there. Like the materia system is still there. But one thing I did notice while playing the game is that I do not believe, I played 20 hours, I do not believe if you master a materia, it bursts a new materia. But I think that's fine because you have ability to buy and like find different materias or the same materias. So it wasn't like a change that's like, oh my god, I can't birth another materia. But in addition to the materia system, you now have weapon upgrades, which then turns it into like, what do I want to see on my character during the story progression? Like going back to the original, like you always had to use the strongest weapon, or you always wanted to use the strongest weapon, and it didn't matter what it looked like. In the original, one of the characters had a mop. And so now you can literally just still use the Buster Sword or any other sword that you think is the best for your character. There are side quests, and they're very known that they're side quests, so you can either choose to do them or not. If you do them, then you have access to be able to get like items or weapons and other fun things. A really cool aspect and mechanic that they did put in that I really love is that if you want to progress through the story, they like ask you, are you sure you want to progress through the story? And then me, being me, knowing I did everything that I could do in that area, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Let me try and find something else. No, but then it's just a good thing. So it's like, if you ever feel like you're missing something, you still have a chance to go back. And I thought that was like a really cool thing. During my playthrough, I am playing it the intended way of the game to be played in HDR and 4K. So it does support that. So if your TV supports that, then it is magnificent. I'm in awe with how good this game looks. This game looks better than Advent Children while you're playing it. And while there are like story moments, like it just looks fantastic. fantastic, and that blows my mind. And also regarding the way the game looks, there's not really any loading screens. I say not really because there are loading screens, but they're mainly like moving on to the next chapter, and that's literally the only loading screen that you have for the entire time you're playing the chapter. And I think that's fantastic that they're able to have this game look the way that it does with no loading screen. Even though at this moment of me recording this video I've not beaten the game, I cannot wait to play the game again. I cannot wait to beat the game again. I cannot wait to just play this game for the rest of the year, for the next year, and as many times as I played the original. I just cannot wait. And also, one last thing that I feel like I should share with you all, for the people that love having multiple saves at different points, you can only have up to 10. I can't wait for you guys to play it. I can't wait to talk to you guys about this. I can't wait to like fully in depth share the experience that I've had or I'm having with you guys. It's just that good. It's just that well done. You can tell the developers and everyone that was a part of this game loves this game, and they treat it like it's a beautiful present, and it's a beautiful love story to the original, and then it's a beautiful like addition to just my Final Fantasy obsession, and just everything about it. It's just that good. I mean, you can either take my word for it, but this is how I feel. I'm not that aggressive as a critic, but when it comes to Final Fantasy, I do have ones that I love. I do have ones that I don't love so much, and this is one that is up at the top of my list. My time with this game has been an absolute blast, and I cannot wait for you guys to have the same experience that I have, because I know you all are just as excited as I am, still am, because my goodness, like, it's just so good. But yes, again, I cannot thank Square Enix enough for the review copy of a Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I cannot thank the developers enough for making this game with all the love and dedication that you can clearly tell they did. You truly made a masterpiece of a masterpiece. Perfection.